Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Heroes of Iyastera D&D 5e Fusion session. The second session in this brand new campaign to be exact. Welcome. Apologies for being a little late. I was experiencing some technical difficulties with OBS. OBS just could not handle all of the awesome on this screen around this virtual table. So hope all of you are doing well. It's been a little while. It's been a couple of weeks. We are doing an every other week Thursday/Friday session. This week we are, of course, streaming on Friday this evening due to some other scheduling conflicts that we had going on. It's been a heck of a week. I don't know about you guys. Also, those of you in the chat, let me know. We're trying a new music option for the stream now with all of the other concerns about, using music without having the proper licenses for it. We are now using Pretzel Music. It is a streamer-friendly music app. All license-free, royalty-free music. However, if you do... Whoa! We just got a follow. What? RPG Apparel? Thank you! Thank you so much. Cheers to you, my friend. RPG Apparel. Does that mean, like, funky shirts and stuff? Are you wearing funky RPG stuff? RPG Apparel. What are you wearing?
Aloha, apparently.
Aloha. What? Woo, fire goat! MRDT night in the house.
Okay.
Oh, it brings such joy to my heart with all the fire goat things. Anyway, yes, we're using Pretzel. Check it out if you enjoy streaming, or if you just want some cool, like, atmospheric music in the background. When you pay for the subscription, there is a free version, but if you were to pay for the subscription, all of the funds raised goes directly to the artists that provide music for the program. So it's very cool. You'll be able to see all the little like Pretzel rocks like credit posts there in the chat, just each time the song changes, just giving credit to the artist, credit where credit is due. So be sure to check that out. Yeah. Do we have any other updates? What kind of cool stuff have you guys been up to over the past couple of weeks before we hop into the campaign? Outside of, crazy things going on in the news. That's a thing.
I've been in a lot of streams, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Tell us about the streams you were in this past couple of weeks or this week.
I'll be honest. It's all a blur, so let me look at my schedule.
Oh, man.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, so, I think it was last week. No, 2 weeks ago? I don't know, time is a construct, but, I was in a Sourceful campaign, which is really fun. I was very nervous at first, because it has a pretty big, following. But, yeah, I played in it. It was a lot of fun. I played, it's basically, it's like a music competition, but with magic.
Ooh,
and
magical music?
Die.
Wait, what?
So, yeah. So I was basically playing that. It's based in a decolonized Afro punk kind of world.
Mm-hmm.
And my character was basically a drummer. He could essentially affect and change reality by drumming. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I played. He's a typical anime guy He's very happy and chipper, but will probably tell you that he will kill you with a smile on his face and not change his tone at all. Yeah. So that's 2 hours playing. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I have that again next Tuesday. We cancelled this Tuesday's episode because of, obvious reasons.
Things happening.
Reasons, yeah.
Things that are still happening.
There's a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not gonna list all of them.
That is excellent.
I'm still developing in Spirals, and I managed to just about finish the sign language elements, which is pretty exciting for the system.
Ooh,
Where
excellent.
I've got each level with a different type of sign language learning system. So I'm excited to get the level 1 out to the testers at the end of November. So yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
what
I think
I
that's
do.
one of my favorite parts of Inspirals, just being able to learn the sign language.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be fairly robust by the end of at the end of quests.
Yeah.
The questing campaign. Anyone else done anything?
We did have Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We just started doing it. I just as Simon before he became the Ice King. That was fun.
Hold up, trying to fix the audio. Cyrus, is that better? You said having trouble hearing everyone at 100% volume and it's still quite low. Is that better?
Testing. Can you hear me?
I'm trying to not make it too loud going into the red here. Music's louder. Let me turn the music down. A bit better? Hey, we got some bits!
Thanks for the bits.
Thank
apparently,
you for the bits.
apparently you're fine, Scriv. Everyone else.
Figures.
All right.
So I turned the music down, but everyone else's voices should be okay. Yeah? Maybe?
How do I sound?
Maybe?
I can't bump up
Testing.
my volume any
Testing.
further.
No, not me.
A bit better? Okay. We'll keep that. We'll keep.
Yeah, keep us updated, chat. See if anyone's coming in very low.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it wouldn't be a Scriv the Bard stream without some technical issues. That always
course not, yeah.
happens. So we'll chalk that up as our second tech issue. The first one happened before the stream even began with freaking OBS just saying, nope, can't handle it. I'm not doing
playing.
it. Sorry, Scriv. All right, anyone else got all those tech goblins, man? You're right, RPG Apparel. Anyone else have anything fun to share before we delve in?
I also had an interview on. Wait, I need to know the name of it. It's not that one. I'm not revealing that one yet.
Oh my god, I was about to freak out, man. It's like you said you weren't allowed to talk
Yeah,
about
no,
it yet.
I'm not revealing that one. So the other one I was in was Rollistis podcast. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right,
Ooh.
but yeah, they just talked to me about all the D&D and like just TTRPGs I've been
All the
doing, how I
things
kind of got
you're
into the
doing.
scene. Yeah, it was really interesting. It was actually a really interesting conversation. We kind of talked about how my sleep schedule's been affected.
No,
and,
really?
well, and that kind of that kind of went into like how few like at least British streamers there are,
Yeah.
and like because that's kind of the reason why my sleep schedule is kind of so bad. There isn't many like big British TTRPG streamers or groups around, and we just kind of had a little conversation on some of that as well.
I mean,
Nice,
the
yeah.
first
Yeah.
one that comes to mind is like over with Yogscast. You know, they're kind of like the
don't know who
biggest
Yogscast
UK-based
Yeah.
streaming group. Yeah, they're
I
pretty
don't
cool.
know who Yogscast is.
There's a few massive ones. Yeah.
It's
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll check them out.
yeah. And let's see, the one they've got over there, GM'd by Mark Humes, is High Rollers.
High Rollers.
Oh, yeah,
D&D.
I know High
That's like the
Rollers, yeah.
biggest UK based one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, unless here's Iyastera really takes off. I don't
mean, I
know.
don't see why-
Up to
I don't
you
see why
folks
not.
out there in the audience. You want to see more of all this? Like and
100%.
subscribe. Oh man, we're starting off the stream with shameless self-promotion. What is this?
I mean,
Because
I
we
don't
need
see
some
why not.
positivity after this week. All right, I think that's good. So,
Ready to get my bomb
without further ado, get your bomb on, my friend. That just sounds odd. Let's not say that again.
I thought this was a family-friendly channel. God.
It is family friendly. The tag's on there.
It is, yeah.
That's why I'm
There's
drinking
There's
tea.
nothing controversial.
That's why I'm drinking tea and not
Because that's what you were
beverage I was
drinking the
having
whole
earlier.
time.
Laced tea. You haven't drunk any
Receive a
scotch
little-
before the stream, I'm sure.
I haven't done
Yeah,
that.
all right, evidence. Drunk any scotch, I said.
That not on
It's adult's
stream.
tea.
Not tonight. Not tonight. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the session goes. I may need to transition to my special tea, depending on how you guys go. Okay. All right. So we are. What? Huh?
What was that?
Hey, look. We have an amazing opening video. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah. Let's get that one.
It's so beautiful, that music. Oh my gosh, thank you again. Shout out to, oh my gosh, I can hear myself when I was listening to the stream. That was horrible. I heard like a tiny Scriv voice. Hopefully that didn't come through. It's like, what is that? I hear this tiny wailing, screeching voice. Is that what I sound like? Oh god. Maybe I need a voice modulator, like what Eorad uses. Anyway, yes. So, big ol' shout out to John Nymeister, and Antonius, is the Twitch handle here. Not sure if they're gonna join us this evening, but they're the mastermind behind that beautiful music. Okay, so shall we begin? Do you remember what happened last time?
Recap.
Do a quick recap.
Yes,
Do we have any master note takers in the party?
My name is Eorad. I wrote that down.
At least you got that.
Ultimate professionals.
At least you got that. So, during our last session, our very first session of Heroes of Iyastera, we entered the story to learn a little bit more about Glenfarra, these wonderful sprawling woods, forests that you find yourself in. You've explored a little bit. We were able to learn a bit more about your homes. Kendis, you opened up the scene, opened up the session with a nice quiet morning, interrupted by a small, rather enthusiastic halfling child from one of the families here in Glenfarra. You started to learn a little bit about the strange happenings. All of you, as you were traveling through the forest, going through the session, started to notice some strange anomalies, we'll say, irregularities. Almost like some of the energy within the forest was being drained in some way. Which absolutely ends up impacting what? New follower, thank you, Jenkins. Jenkins. Thank you, Jenkins.
Hey, Lucas.
Or Lucas.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, our friend. As I'm struggling through
Cheers.
a recap. Yes. So the troubles, the anomalies within the forest have reached as far as the Knotless Woods, which is where Balm Timbersmith, you and your family have maintained stewardship for generations, as long as you can remember, as you are one of the original families within Glenferra. So you were able to learn a little bit more about that. We took a peek into the lives, into the settling in process of Marlowe and Eorad as you recover from the past week's adventures at sea and are trying to make nice with your host, Balm. Perhaps introducing a little bit of chaos into his otherwise calm and peaceful existence there in the Knotless Woods and the Knotless Cabin. You were able to meet some of the NPCs, the Boulder Smiths, learn about the Vervains, the heads of Glenferra. You were able to meet some of the other herbalists, the Lazarou family within Glenferra as well. Lots of NPCs. I don't want to do a complete play-by-play of the session. People in the chat, go check out the YouTube channel for the full video. But one of the things that we did end on was a wonderful celebration of a birthday. Whose birthday was it?
Bomb's birthday.
It was Bomb's birthday. So you ended last session around a roaring fire with tankards of spiced cider and warmed mead and wine, cozy blankets bundled up on the cold autumnal evening, presenting different gifts from each of your cultures, each of your homes. And as the night went on, Balm, head heavy and spinning with the amount of spiced sap that he drank, ended up heading off to bed to sleep off the surprise, the excitement, and just the very long day that he had. So you ended up going to sleep almost immediately. Mm-hmm. Kendis, you returned to your home as well. Unless you were also a little bit drunk off the sap and ended up crashing at the Knotless Cabin. Did you stumble fly home?
What happens in the Knotless Woods stays in the Knotless Woods.
Very well.
Put it that way.
Very well. All right. Marlowe, you returned eventually as well. However, for you, it definitely felt very relaxing, very fulfilling, being around such merriment and music and moderate shenanigans, we'll say. The Glenferra crowd isn't quite as boisterous and mischievous as the sailing crews that you're used to on the Maristella, but something about it felt like home. So you probably stayed up a little bit longer than the others. Eorad, you'd never experienced a party like this before. Within the Athenaeum and Yokul, of course there are celebrations, but something this lively and warm and just natural. It was a new experience for you, but a very welcome one. So as the evening went on, everyone eventually returned to their homes, returned to their separate rooms. And deep into the night, a few hours before sunrise, with all the inhabitants of the Knotless Cabin slumbering or perhaps meditating, Eorad, for you don't truly sleep, but meditating, recovering, reflecting on the events of the past day. The restless spirits of the Timbersmiths are floating through the rooms gently. Eorad, you don't necessarily notice this so much. Perhaps roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
Marlowe, you're fast asleep. Balm, you are out.
No, I don't see it.
No.
I don't see anything.
You've noticed over the past week or so of being here, and Marlowe, you would have seen this as well. Every now and then, you see almost a strange light a strange kind of atmospheric disturbance in the air, always just on the periphery of your vision within this cabin, or within the Knotless Woods outside of the cabin. And you've heard Baum speak of his family, of ancestors and restless spirits before, but you yourself have not really seen evidence of these supposed beings, his family members, his relations. Baum, if you were awake, you would be seeing this. So the spirits of your family float gently through the rooms, some lingering in different areas of the cabin that they would have enjoyed in life. The kitchen, library, a couple of them inspecting the new hygiene room that Marlowe is attempting to install with the bathtub and everything. Many of them actually remain in the room with you, Baum, watching over you as you slumber, protectively, affectionately. It is your birthday, after all. And some of the vines and branches woven into the walls of your room are still in that at least temporary state of bloom and growth. A small gesture of comfort and love from your relatives on your special day. Every now and then, one of the figures will peek in on Marlowe and Eorad, curiously. Most of them, Baum, you would know, have become accustomed, if still wary, of your guests. They're not used to non-timbersmiths being in the cabin. About an hour before sunrise, however, the spirits all stop. Suddenly still. Almost simultaneously, they turn their heads to the northeast and drift outside. Baum, roll a perception check for me. Or rather, a constitution check. And while we're doing this, I'm going to put some music on.
3. 15.
15? Hopefully that music's not too loud. This was your constitution check. You are still sleeping. Your head a bit heavy. However, you notice the disturbance. Something different, a shifting in the air, a shifting in the energies of the room. Your eyes slowly open, just as the figure of one of your uncles, actually, drifts through. And you can feel the energies of your family moving out of the house.
He was always the last to leave.
Your uncle or you?
My uncle.
If you were to look outside, I don't know, do you look outside?
Yeah, I get the shifting is of the energies, like you say. It's quite dramatic. Is it? It's like a sudden like.
The cabin feels suddenly empty.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So I get up and I follow my uncle on his coattails out of the cabin. I don't say anything to them.
And they're silent. Their attentions are drawn elsewhere. So as they move out of the house, all facing that northeasterly direction, you notice something strange. You sense something strange within the Knotless Woods.
Can I do a nature check?
In that direction, just outside of the cabin.
Can I do a nature check?
Yards away. Yes. Roll a nature check for me. And remember, nature in this game, going rogue, right? 5e fusion, is wisdom check, not intelligence.
Yeah. 14 plus 5, 19.
19, very good. You see another figure standing within the trees of the Knotless Wood. It's not one of your family members. Darker. Strange. You have not seen this figure before, and from this distance you can't quite tell if it's a physical form or that of another spirit. The form is smaller than that of the looming furbolgs, but there's a presence there that you can't quite place. It seems simultaneously familiar, but foreign, twisted in a way. There are shadowy horns spiraling from the top of the head, branching out into antlers. There's still one hand resting on the trunk of one of the trees, looking towards you and the cabin. As the hand withdraws from the tree, the Timbersmith spirits around you waver uncertainly, and in an instant create a perimeter around the cabin, around you, protectively. One of the taller figures, Grub, your father, moves forward as if in challenge of the horned figure. The figure lowers its head, backs away, and then melts into the shadows. You hadn't quite noticed the silence before, but the natural sounds of the wood return. Some of the birds singing in the night that were silent up until this point. You hadn't even fully noticed. The presence of this figure seemed to consume your attentions, your senses. But it seems for now, peace has fallen once more.
Do I know which tree they're touched?
You know all the trees.
I know all the trees, yeah.
And in the knotless wood, this is your home. They are your charges.
I think it was one of my cousin's trees. My second cousin's tree. It's near the cabin because they were one of the youngest to fade. So their roots needed to be near their family home. I kind of walked past the spirits towards where the figure was, and inspect the tree. Maybe investigate the tree.
Absolutely. Would you like to roll an investigation check?
Yeah. 14.
14, very good.
I'm looking at the trunk and I'm looking at exactly where it was touched. If I feel any energy from it.
Investigating the tree. This tree had not quite shown the same signs of wilt, of decay that some of the others have. You don't quite see the same signs of blight. However, as you come closer to the tree, some of that warmth, some of that energy within feels diminished. And in fact, as you run your hands along the bark and you look up into the branches, into the leaves, you see just the barest hint of frost beginning to creep around the edges of the leaves.
Cousin Lamp.
Cousin Lamp?
Lamp. Come from the roots and talk to me.
You don't hear anything.
Cousin? Where are you? Okay, at this point, Bomb's incredibly disturbed. Like, he's used to the spirits of any of his ancestors to at least speak to him, even if they don't emerge.
Your father comes forward and lays a spectral hand on your shoulder. He sleeps. But not the right kind of sleep.
Resting.
Sleep's not the word.
Trapped?
Grub nods his head. Your father is as eloquent in death as he was at life. Your mother was more of the talker of the family.
Of course. She still is. Trust me. I need to act quickly. At this point, Bomb's going to go back to the cabin, and he's not going to feel confident on his own to tackle this. He's kind of he needs to sort of lean on people a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
He's found that he hasn't had enough of his own sort of confidence, I guess.
Right.
To tackle any of this on his own, because it's all new to him. It's completely wigging him out, basically.
Mm-hmm. No, it's absolutely strange.
And he often relies on the Hedge Witch to help him out with matters of magic and energy. So he's going to go back to the cabin and rouse Eorad.
Okay.
And Marlowe.
All right, Eorad, you were already meditating. And in fact, I'd like for you to roll either a perception or a nature check as well. Because you've been slowly but surely trying to attune yourself to this place.
I think they're both the same thing for me. Our rolls aren't good. I rolled a 7, so that's a 10 total.
A 10 total?
Yeah. My rolls, I'm apparently very unlucky today.
You know what? You had a lot of really good rolls during the first session. All of you did. Maybe it'll alternate. We'll see. So with a 10, you didn't really notice anything. Your, we'll say, temperature receptors. It seemed a little bit colder in the house, momentarily, but it could have been just a figment of your imagination, maybe a breeze coming through the window. Because I'm guessing you probably keep your window open.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
You don't
Just
notice too much right up until the point where Bomb throws open the door to your room.
Good morning, Bomb.
Eorad, we're in trouble. Something's happening up there.
What's happening?
My family are not acting as they can, or my deceased family, shall I say.
Okay, what can I do? What do you need me to do? Is there anyone I need to, do you need to run?
I just need backup. I just need a bit of help with this.
Yeah.
Even moral support. Your energy will help me figure stuff out quicker.
Oh, okay, yeah. If that's what you need to help, I'll give you more support. I can cheer you on or something.
I just need your energy. You have a very powerful energy about you and positivity.
I mean, I try my best. Yeah. I'll accompany you. What are we doing exactly though?
I need to head back out. Just need to head back out in the woods and make sure. I basically saw an intruder on the borders of the cabin. Some sort of either an apparition or a devil.
What did they look like?
A shadowy being with spectral horns. Have you ever come across something of this nature?
Have I?
No.
No, I haven't had anything like that. Okay,
Not even gonna make you roll for that one. You haven't.
Yeah, that's kind of worrying actually. Okay, who do we need? Is there someone we go to for this? Do we need to wake up Marlowe?
Marlowe has travelled the length and breadth of the continent. Maybe she knows, or maybe she's come across something like this. So yes, and her energy again will help us to remove this energy at least.
I don't understand the whole energy thing, but I'm gonna do my best to help at the very least. But yeah, let's go wake up Marlowe. Okay.
Yeah. So we burst in her door as well.
No knocking.
So I've got like the sheets over me, and I'm like clinking and clinking, and I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. I just throw it out
You weren't even sleeping.
underneath, under the bed.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure, you weren't doing anything, but we need your help.
Yeah, sure.
I don't really understand it. Bomb, take it away.
First of all, I describe something to you, and I need to know if you've ever come across its type or its ilk before. A shadowy figure. Not entirely unlike your shape in terms of horns from its head. Spectral, shadowy figure. With an energy of almost coldness and anti-nature.
Have I come across this before?
Roll an Arcana check for me, or a History check.
16.
16?
Plus. Wait, Arcana or History?
Mm-hmm.
It's plus 3 either way.
Mm-hmm. How much detail did you share, Bomb? I need to make sure we have the right, You just said a shadowy figure, right?
With the spectral horns and the energy of being like cold and shadowy figure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I said to her. That's all I got from it, really.
And what was your total roll, Marlowe?
16 plus 3, 19.
Okay. You don't know much about specters and spirits. You are familiar with different types of projections. But the fact that there was some sort of energy associated with it seems odd. But you do know that there are different types of projections. Some of your employers in the past have used different types of projections, which could create effects in that way.
But
without seeing this thing, it's hard to really tell for sure.
I know of projections, but not necessarily spectral beings.
Yeah.
It was definitely there because I went to my cousin's tree and they'd touched the bark or the trunk and left a kind of coldness behind, a frost, almost like they interrupted the season.
Can you take us to it?
Yeah, of course, yes. This is why I roused you both. I need the support.
What?
I'm genuinely afraid, I'll be honest.
And I look at Eorad and I'm like, has he explained to you what he means by support?
I think everything he's told you, he's told me, and I'm still confused. But I mean, I'm gonna give him my energy, I guess. So
You're still not quite sure what Bomb means about that.
I've been on my own for 15 years now, just me in this cabin, and I realise now I've been missing companionship and, more importantly, support. It's not good having your companions being your spectral ancestors.
Eorad kind of like he doesn't really do much expressions because can't really, but kind of tilts his head at the idea of it not being good to have just spectral friends, because he kind of has a spectral friend.
That the others don't really know about yet.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, he kind of just puts Tessa aside and just goes, yeah, we'll give you support, but I don't know. I can't speak for Marlowe, but I don't know much when it comes to energies or magic. I feel like that seems to be Kendis's kind of field. Should we get her?
I have to admit that they may have the answers to the visitor.
Yeah.
So yes, let's head there. I feel that I know you can't perceive them as I can, but I feel that my ancestors are now protecting at least the cabin from this energy on this force that came into the borders of the woods. So I feel we can leave them to it. And let's visit Kendis. Let's visit the Hedge Witch.
What time of day is it?
At this point, the sun is just beginning to rise. And you're seeing that early morning, that kind of rose golden glow start to color the sky.
Marlowe is gonna swing by the kitchen real quick and grab some snacks. What
kind of snacks would you find in a timbersmith kitchen? Specifically, a bomb timbersmith kitchen.
Acorns.
What you find leaves something to be desired. Just acorns? Nothing else?
There's a lot of slow berries. I love my slow berries.
Just a drawer full of cinnamon. Okay, so
fizzy laces. Fizzy laces.
An empty jar of peanut butter. No, that's the worst. For the peanut butter, thinking, oh, this is gonna be delicious.
God.
No,
it's an empty jar. Oh no, that's awful.
That's such like a bachelor pad kind of thing.
It would definitely be whole earth. Definitely be whole earth peanut butter.
But
Yep.
Okay.
Can you two hurry up, please?
I don't need to eat. I think we're just waiting on Marlowe.
Okay. Marlowe, please hurry up. His voice kind of booms through the cabin.
Of acorns and berries, and I'm like not sure how to eat the acorns. So I'm just kind of like.
Do you want me to like crack that open for you?
And I like hand you the handful of acorns.
And I just take the acorn and put it in my mouth and then crack it like a nutcracker and then hand it back.
I mean, do you crack acorns? They don't really have that same sort of outer shell, do they?
I have no idea. I've never eaten an acorn.
Nor have I.
Like you like soak them and you turn them into like mush.
Acorns and sherbet.
Oh goodness, I accidentally clicked on a video that says how to process acorns.
Perfect.
So apparently you do crack them. You do crack them. It is an outer husk, and there is more of the meat of the acorn nut within that you can then eat and process.
Yeah, I just end up being a sentient nutcracker and just crack the nut and hand it over and just keep doing that.
Yeah, as we're walking, we're just like.
So, raw acorns, as you start to eat them, they're actually very bitter. Very bitter, a very biting sort of taste. And Bomb, you kind of chuckle to yourself. It's like, that's not how you eat acorns. You know that to really get that sweet, sweet earthy flavor, they need to be roasted or something first. But yeah, you're eating them, Marlowe, and you're thinking, who would have a kitchen full of these? These are disgusting.
I'm like interchangeably eating them with the berries to like try to balance it out.
Yes. It helps a little bit.
Yeah, because slow berries aren't bitter at all, are they? No. You basically got the driest mouth possible in the world.
Hashtag snacks for bomb.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are going to be watching this later on YouTube, I'm sorry. I wish you could see all the shenanigans in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Because this is just all the lulz. I'm trying to keep something of a straight face while we're playing here. Mm-hmm. Snacks for bomb.
Right,
Hashtag.
are we ready? Well, we're already on our way, aren't we? We're already on our way to.
You are on your way through the Glenfarren Forest. As you go, you see the beginnings of life awakening. Now, as the sun is rising, you can smell the sweet smoke of different cook fires beginning to light, cooking things that smell way better than the acorns, to be honest. People are starting to come from their homes, emerge, take a look at their crops, stretch, just enjoy the morning. As you go by, some people nod, wave in greeting. You have a few sleepy, gruff, like Timbersmith and friends as you're walking by. So eventually you do arrive at the Brackenhill cottage. How would you describe your home, Kendis? Now yours, if I remember right, is built up into one of the trees. You like to have a higher vantage point.
Yeah, it's basically like a big birdhouse, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
with
that's adorable.
Lined like wall to wall with books. Lined wall to wall with books on the inside, and like all the outside is kind of just like a cute little birdhouse with like a little sort of that kind of shape. Like what's that called? Decoration and like kind of little carved bits of wood. And it's kind of whimsical and cute. And on the inside, bookshelves, lots of like, potion making, scrying making equipment, a big circular jug on the floor. It's pretty like humble, like Kendis doesn't really need to impress anyone. They're living by themselves. It is what it is. It's more like the abode of someone who is like so busy studying and researching and like just doing everything else. They don't really like put a lot of effort into like, keeping the home neat and tidy. Like, it is what it is.
It's a comforting bit of chaos.
Yeah.
Clutter there. You know where everything is. It would very much have the feel then of a cozy bird's nest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. So, as you wake up with the sun, you are just now beginning to make your tea. Not quite the same as it normally is in some of the herbs, specifically the peppermint. You are not able to acquire at the trading post yesterday, but still comforting nonetheless. As you settle into your routine, begin to meditate and cast out your consciousness, once again your morning is interrupted.
Hedge Witch!
What does one need to do to get a peaceful morning around here? What is it, Timbersmith?
Calm down, please. You know
Yes.
I can't climb up there.
Can you climb?
Amusing as it would be to make you attempt it, I sense this is now not the time or place. And then Kendis, hops out of the window, off the window ledge, and flutters down to the forest floor. Okay, yes, well, what is it that's worth interrupting this morning for?
Morning.
Are you all right?
I don't.
Some acorns.
I can crack.
I'll
them for you
pass.
if you
Together.
like.
Have some acorns first, but I have a dire situation.
Okay, fine. Perhaps just one acorn, and then like puts one into their mouth and kind of like makes a. I don't know. I mean, birds are okay with acorns, but it's still not like the tastiest thing like Kendis has ever eaten. And so just kind of like half-heartedly shrugs and just like, yeah, okay, so.
I need to describe something to you. I want your first instinct on this.
Okay.
I left the cabin this morning following my ancestral family outside. On the borders of the Knotless Wood was a figure, a shadowy figure. It was interacting with one of my cousin's trees, and the only way I can describe it as having a cold energy, and it's almost like antlers, shadowy antlers or spectral antlers, were like kind of from its head. And when I inspected the tree, my cousin would not come out to speak to me. My father described him as being in a different state of sleep, unnatural state. And the leaves themselves were frosted over and almost ready to fall prematurely from the branches. And then, thankfully, my father's energy, or my father's sent it away. Does it mean anything to you?
Would I know anything about this, DM? Do I have to do a goal? It's good.
Yeah. Go ahead and do, for you, I will let you choose either nature or arcana.
Okay. Let me just check my stats. Nature's a plus wisdom, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's an 18.
18, very good. Very good. So, you've been here long enough to know, and from your studies at the Athenaeum, thinking back to the studies you've read of springs in particular, different beings, you think this may have something to do with the spring itself. This kind of being, this figure, isn't really ringing a bell. It's not reminding you of anyone else that you may have seen or heard of within the woods. Sometimes you know that the dryads, the different spirits of the forest, can become corrupted in some way with that role, with the things that you've studied, being here, the things that you've studied in your days at the Athenaeum. You know that if the health of the land is at risk, sometimes the other beings that inhabit it could be connected to it in some way as well. But you haven't seen something like this happen before. You're just, with that 18, that was a good roll. Just kind of going back into your sort of mental archives, racking your mind for things that you may have heard or studied or seen in the past.
Okay. Oh, well, not that I have any first-hand experience, but it seems that it could be stemming from the corruption of the land, which could be leaking into, for lack of a better term, the surrounding creatures, which doesn't especially bode well for us, I must say. It's already begun to affect the inhabitants of the woods. But all I can really say, going off that theory, is we should trace things back to the source and head to the well itself. The wellspring of Glenfair may just have the answers we seek.
A good suggestion. We need to talk to the Vervains then.
Yes, indeed.
The elves may know more about this.
Whether they will be forthcoming with their information is another question. I know they would not want to divulge much before they have all of their information in order, but let us find out what we can. We may have to be quite persistent.
Are you two ready to meet the Vervains?
I mean, is there any reason for us not to be?
They're very particular about visitors.
They are indeed. So, the Vervains, you don't know too much about them yet, Marlowe, Eorad. You do know, you've picked up on this from Baum and Kendis, that they are the oldest family within Glenferra. And Lady Vervain in particular, Aralai Vervain, carries the title of Guardian of the Spring, for Glenferra specifically. They're the closest thing you have to not quite royalty, but we'll say a leader within.
Like a mayor or something.
Yeah.
More like a mayor. Because of course, whenever there are emissaries from the capital, from the actual royal family within Monair, within the kingdom proper, they typically like to communicate with someone of at least some sort of noble standing. The Vervains don't necessarily consider themselves noble, however they do take their role as guardians of the forest very, very seriously. And Kendis, Baum, you remember yesterday when you were at the trading post, speaking with Sybil and Hannah. You know that the Vervains have closed off access to the spring, the vast lake within the heart of the forest, citing that something was wrong, but the Vervains were being very secretive about it. It was the first time that they have not been permitted to withdraw water from the spring, the lake.
I think we should make haste towards the Vervains' abode, and they do owe me, as you know, Hedge Witch, after last time I repaired their front porch.
Truly, it was wise of you to hold on to that favour, Tim Smith.
It's always best to keep something back.
I couldn't agree more. Well then, let's go. No need to dawdle. The day is young, but there's lots to do.
Indeed.
Lead the way. What did he mean about them being particular about visitors, though? Is there anything in particular I need to do, say, not say?
Not do.
Yeah.
Scriv, do they have any customs? The reason that Bomb said that is there any particular customs with new people?
Mm-hmm. So it is customary when you bring new people, newcomers, into Glenferra, since anyone who wants to be part of the community here, you need some sort of sponsor, someone to vouch for you. There are usually different events where you can sort of introduce the guests once they've decided to stay more permanently to the community, to the families, and to the Vervains. You have not done this yet. So there is typically some sort of formality in that sense, where you introduce the newcomers to the families. The first time, Marlowe and Eorad, you have been able to interact with any of the others within Glenferra was, again, yesterday at the trading post. You're able to meet the Boulder Smiths in particular. And you know the Boulder Smiths are one of the families the older families that you would have met. Followed by, of course, the Vervains, the Lazaru, and the Good Songs.
The reason I said is they would expect you to have some sort of contribution to the community and to the region.
Yes.
At least in theory, or in kind of the idea that you will contribute some element to Glenfarah.
So, Marlowe, you have already initiated something of an apprenticeship with the Boulder Smiths, with Kralda in particular, from your brief foray into stone shaping yesterday, or stone carving, we'll say. Stone shape is a spell.
Yeah.
Forget I said that one. But and in fact, you know that within a few hours you're supposed to meet Kralda at the Boulder Smith workshop for that apprenticeship to begin. But that's a few hours away.
Yeah.
It's a few hours. But yes.
You don't have anything?
Any guests would need to be basically accepted, not just by the hosts, but by the we'll say the founding families, the original families of Glenfarah. Because you try to keep this community safe. You try to keep it in some ways controlled. While it is not necessarily barred to a great many people, they're still careful about who they accept into their home.
Just make something up, Eorad.
Oh, so you want me to... Okay, I can lie. Okay, I can lie. Okay.
Perfect.
You're going to lie to the Vervains. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh boy.
I like this lying thing. I've never done it before, but when I sold my trout carvings last time, I had to tell a little bit of a white lie. I have to admit it was quite exciting.
This is a slippery slope into debauchery, and I do not approve. I'm just going to put it right out there. But do as you will.
Should I tell you not? Should I say that I don't have anything to offer? Because I should stay outside? I can just stay outside.
Maybe they appreciate honesty.
I mean,
To be caught in a lie by the Vervains, it was well in the long run, but, well, I mean, I have nothing to lose here, so I'll leave that up to you two.
You're good, Kendis. You've been here. You are established as the Hedge Witch here.
I just look at Marlowe like, what do I do? Do I lie? Do I tell the truth?
You could come with me to the apprenticeship. We could do that.
I can say I'm giving moral support to Marlowe at the apprenticeship. Does that count as
100%. Indeed,
Okay.
it does.
I'll do that then. Okay.
Perfect.
That'll
Okay.
work. That'll work.
Let's go then. Let's go.
Okay.
I can see that the Hedge Witch is getting bored.
Just trying to find more of that patience, just sipping the tea, trying to forget the taste of that very fresh acorn. Okay. So, fortunately, I don't have a map of Glenfarah ready, or else I'd love to show you more of a map of where exactly it is that you're going. So basically, the Vervain's home, to call it a cabin would be to, in some ways, diminish the beautiful artistry that went into crafting and adorning this home. But if you were to go back to the center of Glenfarah, back through the different localities and smaller communities within the city, going through the trading post, people haven't really set up there quite yet. but the morning sun is just beginning to set the clearing aglow. That spiraling avian stone carving, the statue in the center reaching up towards the sky, is just beginning to sparkle a bit. If you continue to go in more of a northerly direction, a bit deeper into the forest, there are fewer other cabins and small clusters as you go along. Eventually you do reach, we'll call it the Vervain Estate. So made of this beautiful dark, richly colored wood. You see this structure with these intricate wood carvings all around, with these beautiful pillars holding up the roof as it reaches out over a porch. You mentioned Bomb.
Yeah.
A sprawling porch that sort of curves around, not just at the front of the home with its heavy wooden double doors, carved with these intricate designs of trees and vines and blooming flowers. And the porch kind of wraps around all the way to the back. You see these big windows that are just thrown open, fresh air going through.
Bomb's
The pillars
actually quite up.
themselves. Go ahead.
He's quite upset when he's walking towards, and because he looks at the wood and he looks at how the wood was, and how it was shaped before, and how healthy it is, and he thinks back to the trout he sold the day before, and how splintered and kind of like essentially unhealthy the wood is. So it's kind of a quick kind of a melancholic feeling that comes over him. So his head slightly dips, and he continues on after Kendis.
Yes. As you walk through, you can sort of run your hands along the pillars that both you and some of your family, prior to their passing, all contributed to. Every bit of wood here is from the forest itself. Everything, of course, locally grown. A number of them, the pillars in particular, all came from the knotless wood. So if you were to walk forward, knocking on the heavy doors.
I guess since Kendis is in front, they'll knock. Yes? Yep. Hello?
And of course there are no guards. There's no guard or sentry posted here, because within Glenfarra all is, for the most part, calm. You don't have too many concerns of that nature. And strangely, the Vervains never really seemed concerned about that kind of security here. Newcomers sometimes find it unsettling when they're used to coming from different towns, villages, and cities where you had more security. You had like a town guard. And the more time you spend here walking through, and it hit you a little bit more today, as your senses are a little bit more on edge with this morning's encounter, you do notice that there aren't really guards here. There's not really like a security presence in that sense. So knocking on the door, Kendis. A few moments pass. A few more moments pass. And then you hear the heavy grating of the door being pulled inward from these sort of metallic rings. And it scrapes forward a little bit more. And then a little bit more. And you see the face of Enda Vervain, the young son, the roughly 12-year-old son of Aralai and Findel Vervain, poking out, rubbing his eyes. Hedge Witch Brackenhill and Mr. Timbersmith. Good morning. Do you need something? Mom and Dad are asleep.
Well, wake them if you can, please, boy. This is urgent business.
Is it?
I'm sure they will understand. Yes.
Well,
quite so.
What's wrong? He's
The
looking
timbersmith
curious.
here is... just best explain to your parents, boy. Do hurry and wake them. Go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Come in. I guess I'll go get Mom. So he runs off, and just kind of as he's rushing away, kind of tries to throw open the door, looking back at Marlowe and Eorad, confused because he hasn't really seen them before. Not really. Confused, looking at both of them. As you wave, Eorad, he goes, kind of waves, and just kind of hits himself against the wall as he tries to navigate through the hallway to go find his mother. So you are in an entry room. There is a nice hearth there, a fireplace that is not yet lit. Comfortable chairs, looks to be just a nice sitting room, an entertaining room, really. There's some bookshelves on the walls. There are some flowers in different pots around. Some of them in pots that seem to be similar to the ones that the Lazarus were tending to. You don't see a whole lot of potted plants here. A lot of the flora just kind of grows organically within the structures of Glenferra. So within a few minutes, Enda comes back out, saying, Mom, this way, they're in here. Arlai approaches, kind of wrapping herself in a robe, in a coat, as she walks up and regards all of you. Female wood elf, although it is early morning and you know from Enda that she has not quite fully woken up to prepare for the day. The slight wood elf still carries herself very proudly, very tall. Dark skin, straight black hair, just kind of very quickly tied back at the moment. Approaches, nods to both you, Kendis, and Baum. Nods with a slightly furrowed brow towards Marlowe and Eorad. What's the matter? Enda said that there was something urgent. What do you need? It's not often that we're woken this early. However, I know, Hedge Witch, you would not have sought us out unless there was great need.
Kendis gives like a brief, respectful bow. I am terribly sorry to wake you this early in the morning, but yes, Bon here saw something strange in the forest, and I do believe that our situation with the changing of the land has become more urgent than I possibly thought. Corruption of forest creatures is my theory, but we really must see the wellspring immediately and investigate this further. I fear what will happen if it waits. Timbersmith, would you like to relay to them the situation as you experienced it this morning?
Enda, darling, go get some tea. Enda, yes, Mom, and leaves for the kitchen. Why don't we sit down?
I'm sorry it's cold this early in the morning. You must be freezing. And Bomb turns to the hearth and he uses Druidcraft to light a fire in it.
I think this is the first cast spell of the campaign. Yes, we're using those abilities.
He says, Cinnabomb.
God damn it.
What? Oh my god, that was in the chat. Cinnabomb? Really?
Nice.
Yeah. And
Wait.
Nice.
And it does smell faintly of cinnamon.
yes.
Little bit of nutmeg in there too.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone. You made it happen.
You made him mean.
This is a community creation moment.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a pretty strong smell of cinnamon.
Fine, I don't need to breathe, so I can't smell it.
Yes,
Choke
yes.
on the tea here. Arlai smiles graciously. Thank you. Is that cinnamon?
You know, Even
Anyway,
yes. Let us
please
let
sit
us sit down. Yes.
So you-
Marlowe
Mhm.
has like a couple acorns left in her pocket, and she just like kind of glances back and like tosses them into the fire just because she wants to know what happens.
Are you trying to do this discreetly?
Yeah.
Or just roll a sleight of hand check? Roll for acorn tossing.
Sleight of hand is...
That'll be your dexterity, and you definitely have proficiency in your sleight of hand, being a
Yeah.
rogue.
I rolled a 16.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Plus
You're able to
6.
very deftly,
Plus 6.
without
22.
Aralai, without Lady Vervain noticing at all. She's very much focused on Kendis right now with this talk of corruption. So you're able to just sort of flick a couple of the acorns over. You're able to get like 3 or 4 there. Just on the outer edge of the flames. And in time, they will start to just smoke very, very faintly as some of the moisture escapes from the husk.
Yeah.
They'll probably be ready in a few minutes. With the heat of that fire the bomb created, the Cinnabomb attack. Sounds like a Pokemon. So
before
yes.
before we talk, I'd like to introduce some companions of ours.
yes,
this is-
I had heard of their arrival, but I've been looking forward to actually meeting them.
This is Eorad and this is Marlowe.
An honor to meet you and welcome you to Glenferra.
It's been nice here. Sorry we didn't get to you earlier. We was kind of getting the lay of the land here. But yes, it's nice to meet you. And he kind of like
She
gives an
nods.
awkward bow.
She smiles just very slightly at the corner of her mouth and returns a nod in response to your bow. Where do you hail from? What brought you here to Glenferra?
Just traveling, I guess.
Just traveling. We find a great many of just travelers who come to our forest. Do you intend to stay? Am I to assume, turning towards you, Bomb, that this is a more formal introduction? I would have preferred to it have been under more formal circumstances. However, no time like the present, especially if there's some sort of concern. Do either of the two of you have anything to do with this concern? Have you seen these things? Why is this happening now? I should ask.
My questions exactly, my lady.
I
mystery-
am still confused. I'll be honest with you, ma'am. I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm here to support my friend.
And you, my dear, turning towards you, Marlowe.
I'm here because he woke me up, and I don't want these acorns anymore.
Oh no, she does laugh at that, actually. She doesn't hide. She just lets out some laughter. Are you still really just eating acorns, Bomb? No wonder you're looking a bit pallid.
I'm not exactly a good chef.
Your mother baked the
Still.
most wonderful bread. Didn't you save any of her recipes? Didn't she pass them on to you? That's not...
She
no
passes
matter.
on to me. Yes. Anyway, let us discuss the matter at hand. So about 2 hours ago, on the edge of the Knotless Woods, on the borders of the cabin, my ancestral family left the cabin.
They left? What do you mean they left?
And all at once they left for the outside. I was happy. I thought they were returning to the roots and that the problems had actually dissipated. As you know, there's been things affecting the woods for several months. And unfortunately, they were approached by a shadowy figure. It's the only way I can describe it. Entirely made of shadow, it seemed, with spiraling spectral antlers. And I immediately felt a sense of unease, a sense of coldness. And it was only my father's interjection that caused this figure to flee, I feel, or at least to leave. On further inspection of my cousin's tree, in which it was touching, I found that the leaves were entirely frosted over, almost desiccated, and my cousin, unfortunately, is in a type of coma almost. Not the usual restful sleep, and no communication. And rightly so, the Hedge Witch suggested we come to you to discuss whether there is any links or any to the spring.
Aralai is very quiet. And at the mention of, well, just honestly listening to this story, her face grows more and more grave, pale, even. Is this the first time you've seen this figure? Has she appeared before?
No, my family haven't reacted for months to anything. They've just been wandering aimlessly. Even my father, with no direction. This is the first time they've had any sort of, yes, Eorad.
Yeah.
Raises your
That was the last question. You said, do you know this person? You said she. Does that mean you know who that is?
That's a good point.
I'm not sure. Something seems familiar, no matter. Tell me again about the tree. And describe the horns for me.
Like a deer's antlers. At a distance, I thought they were more tiefling-like, but on focusing more, I could see that there was more to them. They're more intricate. And as I said, Cousin Lamp had no communication with me, completely still in the earth, like his spirit was trapped.
Completely in a slumber, right?
Indeed, yes. As you've noticed, the seasons seem to be sporadic right now. Not entirely, but the weather's affected, the nature around us is affected.
This is not the first case that has been brought to my attention of frost touching our forest, our home prematurely.
It's cracking the very wood I work with.
I'm sorry to hear that. What of the rest of the Knotless Woods? I know that things have been... That song was way too cheery. I know that things in the Knotless Wood have been of concern, precarious. Bomb, I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. However, I cannot allow anyone at the spring at this time. The spring itself has been touched by that same frost as well.
Right.
And I cannot guarantee the stability. There have been some strange things happening around the spring and happening elsewhere in our woods.
I understand that.
For the safety of everyone within this forest, having not seen that energy disrupted in this manner, I cannot allow anyone near it.
Can we...
My lady, bold of it may be to say so, but surely I could at least assist in some way. My own protective magics may keep me safe while I examine the wellspring, but I don't know, I wish to help, and this feeling of helplessness is, to say the least, infuriating.
I understand, Kendis, and I thank you. I truly do. However, as our only Hedge Witch, I'm not sure I can risk you either. Until I understand more about what's going on with this spring. I'm afraid I don't feel comfortable allowing others
from
near
around
it.
here. I'm not from around here, and it's not affecting me. Could I, perchance, take a look at it?
We haven't even determined if you're actually staying here or not yet. That's another matter entirely.
I can vouch for Marlowe. And don't forget, milady.
Only Marlowe?
For both of them, of course.
Poor
Don't forget your...
Eorad just stands there, just silent. He's like...
Is this because I don't have a job?
Yeah. Is it because I'm unemployed?
This freeloader? I mean, Eorad. Oh, I have a great many questions for you, Warforged. However, now may not be the time.
Milady, would it be possible to get someone to Knotless Woods, someone of very acute magic sense?
Well, you have the Hedge Witch with you.
Of course. But maybe someone of unnatural magic sense.
Unnatural magic sense? Are you considering that this is something that is, well, we know it's unnatural in the sense that it's unusual. Are you thinking something darker?
Anti-nature. Much darker, yes.
More of a black magic.
I had a feeling from this. Indeed, yes. I'm sure the Hedge Witch will be able to help as well.
Of course.
Is anyone accompanied from your estate? Anyone that can accompany us? Surely you've had someone over to inspect the spring.
And she doesn't meet your eye when you ask that question. And you notice, having interacted with our ally often enough. Perhaps one of the good songs can assist.
Yes,
with their music, with the way that they are able to, in some ways, speak to the trees. Not in the same way you are able to do so, of course, Timbersmith. But perhaps one of them can assist.
I need a different way.
Talk
Indeed.
to Oscar.
I can't communicate with them. Okay.
Talk to Oscar from the good songs.
Excellent. Yes, a good suggestion.
But, again, I'm afraid I cannot allow any of you near the spring at this time. Rest assured, Kendis, that as soon as I find out what is happening, I will summon you. I may need your help sooner rather than later.
Very well, my lady. Don't leave it too long, will you? I wouldn't want things to be too late for my assistant.
If anyone wishes to roll an insight check or perception check.
This is super shady. She's hot. Yes, she's
I was kind of waiting
something.
for someone to ask because I know you guys are picking up on it. Go ahead, roll an insight check.
She's.
I don't know what's going on in my rolls.
What does perception use? Is that wisdom?
Wisdom.
Okay, cool. So
Insight as
that is with my
You're ready to go. You're like, what? What? No one's gonna bar the Hedge Witch from that spring. Something
So
is
with-
afoot.
with my modifiers. That is a 20.
What?
Damn.
Dang! Bracken Hill?
Whoop, whoop.
Dang! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hold up. Bracken Hill rolls a dirty 20. Okay. She is absolutely hiding something. You, with your intuitive senses and your ability to pick up on the subtleties of others, that and just having worked with the Vervains in the past, you being the first Hedge Witch they've had in a long time, the first new Hedge Witch they've had, rather, barring your original mentor, the person who vouched for you so many years ago at least. You were able to form a good relationship with the Vervain family. You know Aralai's tells at this point. There's definitely something wrong. Something that she doesn't want to tell you. And you get the sense that she knows exactly what's wrong with the spring. And that is why, with that dirty 20, and there's a reason why she has not allowed people nearby, near the spring, and she has not allowed others to inspect it. But she knows what's wrong with the spring. She knows where the emergency cinnamon sticks are.
And that too.
And that too. No, she knows exactly what's wrong with the spring, and she's just not telling you. She seems afraid. She
Okay.
seems afraid and uncertain. And actually, although, she was sleeping, with that 20, it looks like she actually has not had a restful sleep in quite some time. At this point, however, Enda does return, very precariously carrying, he's kind of tall for a 12-year-old, but precariously carrying this platter of, teacups and some small loaves of, soft bread. Oh, and at this point, Marlowe, the acorns are thoroughly roasted.
I leave them there. I take some bread instead.
Yep. Yep.
Well, far be it from me to pull you all away from this delightful breakfast, but one cup and then we must be on our way. Wouldn't you agree, Timbersmith? And
Yes.
gives Bomb a meaningful look.
We need to find the good. What are they called again, Scriv? Sorry.
The good songs.
Good songs.
The Good
that's it.
Song family. So,
Yeah.
Kendis, you two know that the Good Song family is a musically gifted halfling family whose songs are rumored to soothe the spirits of the forest themselves. When they
Just what we
play,
need.
the trees and flowers seem a little bit brighter, the animals a bit calmer. They're also fine crafters of musical instruments, luthiers, if you will, specializing in flutes, woodwinds, and some stringed instruments as well, made from the Glenfarren trees. I'm not singing.
Damn it.
But Oscar, Alda, Luz, and Fidel
Yeah.
are the good songs.
Let's,
Oscar
let's,
is the one that
yeah.
Aralai recommended that you speak to.
Yeah, let's find Oscar then. Maybe in the square. Marlowe, do you not need to start your apprenticeship?
How long has it been since we've been here?
You'll be able to make it. You've been sitting there probably for sharing all of this information. Not quite. About an hour and a half.
Okay.
Getting closer to 2 hours. Before you leave, however, drinking the tea, taking a deep breath. Now, there is the matter of the two of you, Marlowe, Eorad. I'm sure that we'll have another opportunity to speak again. more at length, I would like to get to know you. If you intend to stay here, is that correct? Are you going to be joining Glenfarra?
I'll go where the wind takes me. And currently that's here.
Fair enough. The wind leads a great many souls here.
What
Perhaps
she
you'll find
said.
it to your liking. What she said. You I find particularly curious, Warforged.
Why? Why is that? Did I do something wrong?
No, you did nothing wrong. However, I can see why you and Hedge Witch Brackenhill here may have some things in common. She leaves it at that. She kind of tries to gauge from your expression, Kendis, whether or not you two have discussed this or not.
I don't believe so. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that Kendis has been trying to pin down for a while. So, yeah.
Okay. It's very rare that we ever see one of your kind here. I would go so far as to say that you are the first to have arrived here, at least within Glenfarra. Very curious to hear your story, or as much of it as you would be willing to share. However, if Bomb does vouch for you, that already works in your favor. As I can see that you have somewhere to be. Seeing, she did not miss the pointed look between Kendis and Bomb. I encourage you to learn as much as you can about this forest, as much as you can about the people of Glenfarra, and then come back to me once you've found something that interests you enough to keep you here longer.
I just need to ask, and if we don't want to stay, is that offensive? I've never been out.
Goodness, no. We're not in the business of entrapping people here. If you don't wish to stay, don't stay. I'm not so much worried about those who are just passing through as I am people who may actually become integrated into our community. Of course, that's not to say we wouldn't be keeping an eye on you, but more under the watchful eye of Timber Smith and Brackenhill here. I trust them, and if they trust you, that is enough for me at present.
I just want to make sure I'm very
No one
new to all
is commanded to stay. Of course not.
Okay. I just thought I was kind of like under the impression that like you had to do something to contribute to this like community and just like even be here for a while. And I'm not even entirely sure I am gonna stay here, and because I don't really want to work, but also don't want to be like constantly moving. But I do enjoy like wandering, and he's kind of
it's okay.
He just
It's
rambles.
okay. He reaches out a hand and puts a hand over yours. Don't worry. Glenfarra is whatever you need it to be. I just hope that you find some sort of peace and comfort here.
I hope so too.
You're very troubled. You can stay here as long as you need to. But no more than what you feel like you need.
Candace nods and like probably like kind of shuffles backwards again, very awkwardly, like does a little bow again. And then,
Is there anything else I can do for you right now? Addressing the group. Each of you.
No, we
Where
should.
does this bread come from? It's
So-
really good.
Oh. It's made from acorns. It's made from
Marlowe, like,
acorn flour.
eyes the acorns sitting by the fire, and it's just like, and she goes over and pockets them.
Set our clothes on fire.
Oh no. Although they can be cooled down now. It's okay.
We need to find Oscar of the good the good songs.
Yes.
Wait, have we left the
You
Estate.
will have been able to take your leave at this point. You've had your tea, you've had some delicious acorn flour bread. You taste a bit of honey and cinnamon and different spices in there as well. And actually it was served with this nice fresh kind of cream. Almost like a clotted cream sort of thing. Maybe the
Hedge
tea
Witch.
was garnished with cinnamon. Where did the cinnamon thing even come
I don't
from?
know.
Oh my goodness.
A new fire goat.
Oh boy.
Next
Oh,
emote.
man.
Cinnamon
Just
sticks and
Just
acorns.
cinnamon sticks.
Hedge Witch.
Yes.
Something vexed her.
Yes.
You had this
noticed it
conversation
too.
as you're out walking.
Yeah. She
um,
was lying to us.
I sensed that. I wasn't sure, being a straight-laced type, and new to these lovely white lies. But
It's a fine art, is lying. I'm sure you will become adept at it with practice, Timber
I think-
Smith.
everything's a fine art that isn't carving.
Truly.
But it worries me that she can't be trusted.
Indeed, I'm tempted to go and see to that spring myself right now. Would you be in the mood for a little subterfuge this morning?
I mean,
What does that mean?
she's already doesn't. She seems kind of like. She said she's got an eye on us already. Like, is that like the right thing to do? If we get caught, would we like get
Which
kicked out?
direction is it in?
Right to the point. We haven't decided yet, Marlowe. You're jumping the gun.
It
Well,
actually is north.
I'd rather decided myself, but I didn't suppose. Do we need to do a vote of some kind?
I mean,
I suppose we're all in this together, but-
I'm honestly.
Are you practicing
I don't really know.
democracy?
I don't really know this place. I'm kind of stuck with you all anyway. So I just vote wherever everyone else votes to go.
I could yeet the tiefling over the wall.
Don't encourage it.
Oh no.
If this is
Ah,
if
yes.
this,
You've been practicing your yeeting, have you?
I have.
The fine art practiced England fair.
I started with acorns. I've moved all the way up to tree trunks.
I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
I don't suspect a tiefling will be much trouble.
Oh no.
What
You
did
I
can
need
eat
my- I
anything
need
you
my
put your
other tea
mind
now.
to, Timber Smith.
Hmm. If I yeet her, you can catch her midair, and then and drift down slowly and
There's
silently.
not a wall.
I,
There is no wall that surrounds the spring.
I was literally thinking like, there's not a wall, is there? Why are you doing
It is now.
I'm not talking about the spring. I'm just talking about a random wall.
Oh, you're just going to go find a wall. You're going to find a wall.
Yeah,
Perhaps
I
with
wanna
a good song.
I want to
to
practice. I want to
Oh.
practice a maneuver with
Oh,
Hedge
God.
Witch. Just in case we have to infiltrate a place with walls.
Oh boy.
I like the way you think, Timber Smith. Planning
We're
ahead,
doing
I
this.
see.
We actually doing
Yeah.
this. Okay, I mean,
Eorad, will you help me yeet?
oh no.
I don't know if I fully
consent.
understand
Have my
what
sword
yeeting is,
and my axe and my yeet.
I don't know if I fully understand this whole yeeting thing, but
I don't
are we?
It's a strange
Of
custom that you
course.
have not heard of before.
One does not simply walk into Mordor. They must be
What
yeeted.
Where is Mordor?
is falling
I've
apart.
never heard of Mordor. I know I've read
This
Matt's
is how the
Primer before.
campaign dissolves.
I will yeet you there, though I do not know the way.
Oh no. Look to the yeet.
Everybody just like,
Oh my god.
what is happening?
Is it
What is
working
going
out?
on?
Eorad, we are practicing infiltration.
Yes. Ancient secret Glenfern.
Bomb knows the word infiltration, but not subterfuge.
I mean, infiltration is a lot more of a normal word than subterfuge.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
Yes, right, yes, it is.
It's considerably more normal word than subterfuge.
Yeah, thank you, yeah, definitely.
Very
I
well,
agree.
very well.
I agree.
A normal word for a druid to use, though? A timber
I mean, yeah, that's,
You
I
don't
guess that's fair.
know Bomb's past.
No.
Bomb was wild in college. You don't understand, man.
Yeah, he's
in
crazy.
his college years, wow.
Yeah.
They call me
Edmund,
Bomb.
Cinnamon.
The Bomb.
Yeah, having a hard time.
You hear a voice in your ear, Bomb.
House Acorn.
My dear, I thought we were past this kind of behavior.
He steps to one side. He steps to quite a way away from the group, and he's like, "Listen, you know, I've been trying to try new things, and I've been trying to make friends. I feel like the Hedge Witch wants to get into the estate and look at this spring. I don't feel comfortable getting involved with this. But if I can contribute some way,
You would go against the wishes of the Vervains.
She's lying to me, Mother.
Perhaps I'm being hasty. I just feel this is really ruffled my feathers, you know? I'm offended that I haven't been consulted to look at the spring. And I dislike that there is no...
I didn't necessarily
way to
say
answer
that I
this.
disapproved. Just making sure you know what you're doing, my dear.
He kind of smiles at that. He kind of like, you can tell that she's kind of trying to encourage him to be more social and to be more collaborative, so to speak. So he sort of lowers the flower pot of nettles and steps back to the group. He's like, I think we should do this. And he's got like a grin on his face.
You've never seen him grin before. It's a bit unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
There's like
It's like a
Timber
weird...
acorn, or what you hope is acorn in there.
Tim Smith, are you okay? There appears to be something wrong with your face.
What? No, I'm fine.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're smiling.
Is that what that was?
That's my best guess.
My face is kind of just like perpetually like this, so all of your facial expressions is kind of odd to me. If that makes you feel any better.
Every now and then you'll almost try to mimic the facial expressions Eorad, and it's not, even that is not quite as unsettling as Bomb's toothy grin.
Marlowe.
Whenever he tries to smile, because he probably doesn't like actually move his lips, so he kind of opens his mouth slightly like...
That would be about it, yeah. So do we practice infiltration and
Are we actually throwing Marlowe? Do you want
It is about time. I'll give you guys this. It is about time for the apprenticeship with the Boulder Smiths, and they
Right
have
on time.
a lovely wall.
Oh,
Just kind of a half wall around their workshop space, their outdoor carving space. It's sort of a half wall. It's not so much a forge, but it's sort of like a half circular wall, of course, made from stone, behind which they have different shelves with their different supplies, their chisels, different crafts, different types of stone, and that is sort of their carving space within that semicircle of a wall, not far from their home.
Before we do this, is there a wall that we need? So, are we going to the lake? Because if we're going to, is there a wall at the lake that we need to throw someone? I don't understand why we're doing this.
You could always yeet someone into the lake if you really wanted to, I suppose. But if you're looking for a height, you're gonna find it there.
I believe the lady may have built barriers around the spring This is what I envision.
Can
So I
we
just want to be
break them
prepared.
down? I'm pretty good at breaking down barriers.
We'll make a lot of noise.
I
I
have
mean, I can
somewhere
do
to
it
be.
quietly. Oh yeah, you have your apprenticeship. You
Somewhere
probably
to be. I have a thing.
Marlowe, do you wish to make
That's not here.
Marlowe, do you wish to make a spectacular entrance?
I wish to enter normally.
Oh, okay.
Thou dost
And
not
Bomb
wish to
kind
be
of looks
eaten.
just is the opposite of a smile.
You said they have like a half wall.
Mhm.
Can I try to like parkour over that?
So you want to
Yes.
yeet yourself over the wall?
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely
Perfect.
can. I will have you roll.
Yes.
So you're not going to allow Bomb to practice the throw?
Nope. I can do it myself, thank you.
Oh, strong, independent team.
Eorad, maybe you could yeet
Yeah.
me.
Would that be an acrobatics?
That would be acrobatics. Yes.
Okay, so dirty 20.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Dang. Describe how you launch yourself over this wall, and coming upon this area. You've walked a bit farther. This is more east. I'm sorry, no. Yes, east of the trading post. The trading post is more central to Glenfarra. So a little bit farther east, not too far from the trading post, because, you know, you don't want to have to carry the stone too far. But you are able to find the workshop of the Boulder Smiths. They have also a lovely home made primarily of wood, as most of the structures here are, on the ground versus up in the trees, of course. But for their home, there are different stone, not quite gargoyles, but different sculptures there, sort of flanking the entrance to the home. And then, of course, you see behind the home the stone-walled workshop. So how do you yeet yourself over the wall?
I imagine she gets a running start, and sort of like, if there's anywhere for her to kind of like jump
Oh
off
yeah,
of.
I mean there are lots
And
of
then-
trees and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she kind of like has a running start, like hops off something, and then like somersaults over
Just
the wall.
flips through the air.
Yep.
You do a triple tuck.
I think after seeing Marlowe do that, Eorad is gonna do the same. And I've already rolled.
What did
and
you
it
roll?
was 22.
Oh!
I'm a monk, guys. I'm a massive robot. I'm
Yes.
still a monk.
The dice come
Thank
through
goodness.
when they need,
Nice.
when
So-
you have need of them. Throw some hypes in the chat there.
His one looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
So as he runs, it's kind of like his footsteps are kind of, all you hear at first is like heavy footsteps, and then so he has a tuning fork like hanging from the necklace around his neck,
Mhm.
and it kind of clangs against his chest, and as that happens, and the sound like kind of reverberates outwards, you see kind of like a shimmery thing. It's like a figure appeared just in front of him, and he jumps, and then kind of like, as far as you can tell, it's the figure is kind of like acting as a base. So it kind of jumps onto the figure. The figure suddenly stands up straight, really like incredibly fast, and it launches him over the wall, and he lands right next to Marlowe. And he doesn't even like acknowledge that it was a weird or extraordinary thing to do. He just continues walking towards the workshop.
This is the first time any of you have seen this spectral form as
Would
well.
I have seen it on the.
You're on the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah.
Oh no, you
I
saw
don't
on the
know.
ship.
Has
Yeah.
Marlowe seen
Yeah.
Yeah.
your
When
friend?
we were
So
looking at
even the figure that they're seeing now
stars.
isn't like solid. It's still like it's still
Mhm.
transparent. It's more like, you know, like when it's a really hot day and you're like looking to the distance, you can see like heat lines,
heat
kind of heat
waves.
waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you really see. I think Marlowe's probably seen a much more colored and like visible version of it when they
Yes.
like first met and they were watching the stars
Yes.
on the boat. Yeah, even then it wasn't like a solid thing. It was more like a kind of colored mist.
Right. Okay. So
what's the nearest person to bomb now, apart from the Hedge Witch?
they're both over the wall.
Yeah, we're
so it's
both
just
over the
you
wall.
and Kendis.
Is there any people around though?
Are you gonna throw a random person?
Oh no.
Oh, you mean if
You
anyone
need-
saw that?
Are you
happening?
looking
Okay.
for someone?
Yeah, I'm looking for
There are
someone
people
close
who
to
are
me.
just beginning to, who at this point not just beginning to awaken, but there are some other people within their homes. You don't actually, you know what? With this kind of commotion, one of the twins, Dokum, does come out of the house, hailing you. Good morning. Oh.
Morning,
Did
Dokum.
I hear something? Are you here for Mom?
No, we're
Here
actually
from
playing. We're actually playing a really fun game.
Oh, what game are you playing?
Well, the Hedge Witch will fly above the wall there, and
Into our workshop?
Yes, indeed. We're having a little fun to wake us up in the morning, kind of like calisthenics.
Oh, I like those.
Yes.
I was
So,
actually just on my way to, do a little
Well,
bit
let
of a
me
run
get- let me
around
get
the-
you
around
started.
The forest,
Let me get you
Boulder
started.
Smithing takes some hard
Yeah.
work. You've got to keep strong,
course.
right?
So
what are you doing?
like a boulder, I wish to yeet you up into the air, and then the Hedge Witch will grab you midair,
Oh no.
and then slowly deposit you on the other side of the
Oh,
pool.
no. Oh no.
As you can tell, this is a great fun activity.
I have no
and there's
idea
a
what
carve-
yeet
there's-
means.
There's a
But
carved
before he is
frog in
able
between.
to say much of anything, I imagine you just grab him. It's like,
Enjoy
I don't-
this.
I don't know what this means. Ah!
Yeah, I grab him by the scruff of his
Of
shirt.
his beard.
Oh no.
And and I yeet him.
Oh no.
I go heads up, Head Witch.
And you barely have time to fly into the air, Kendis, if you are
Yep.
And I
contributing
rolled-
to
Get
this.
straight up there.
This is ridiculous. This
And
is
I rolled a
D&D,
2.
guys. You rolled a 2?
So
Oh no.
a 4
Rolled
altogether.
a 2?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
4 altogether. I fling him.
Wait, hold on. Your strength is a +2 when you're yeeting people.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a +3 or +4.
No. I've got an athletics, but it still would be 6.
Okay. Well,
So do I have to catch this kid before
You
he hits the
do.
ground?
So,
If you want to.
you,
Can I
right
in
off
your
the wall.
enthusiasm, grab Dokum, who just kind of lets out a very unseemly squeaking sound, like "Ah!" as you grab him, and then try to launch Dokum. This is much heavier and much more dense than you had imagined at first,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Dokum and Brock, they're dwarves. No one tosses a dwarf.
100%, yeah.
So you're able to take Dokum just almost like, by the scruff of the shirt, by the collar of the shirt, really, and toss him up into the air. But instead of really getting the height that you were expecting, Kendis, Dokum just barely leaves your hands before just kind of being tossed to the side and then coming back down onto the ground. Kendis, if you wish, you can try to dive and catch him.
Right, cool. I guess that's an athletics check, right?
Yeah. Which will be strength.
That's an 8.
An 8.
No.
So I imagine Aarakocra
Where are
being able to fly.
Marlowe?
Oh, you guys, we'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
We'll get to you.
I'm just wondering if we're seeing all of this happen.
You would have heard the commotion and you would have been able to kind of peek around, or if you wanted to climb up to you could be sitting on the wall before dropping down the other side if you wish.
Yeah.
Just watching all of this as it happens. So Kendis, you dive, and you are able to get there quickly, swiftly, and you're even able to get a good hold on Dokum's on his shirt. But the weight of this very dense little dwarf compared to your mostly hollow-boned Aarakocra body just drags you crashing both to the ground.
Cool.
You feel a little bit... I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how you feel. Your feathers are a bit ruffled.
Oh yes, to say the least. Kendis is gonna pull himself up and turn to look at Balm and goes, if you ever attempt that on me or in my presence ever again, I will yeet that carving knife of yours so far up your orifices that you will... and then it just sort of trails off into grumbling nonsense about the ridiculousness of why Bomb should not do that on pain of death ever again, Timber Smith.
Yeah. I feel terrible, but I kind of walk up to the dwarf in the sort of dust, and I go,
oh, that hurt.
That really wakes you up, though, doesn't it?
I mean, I'm awake.
That
was kind of exciting.
Yes.
What did you call that? A ute?
A yeet.
A yeet.
The youth's are completely different. That's also a slang term. It just means
Is
youth.
It?
Yeah, it means youth.
I had no idea.
Or you're younglings.
I have no idea. What is slang?
Take and Bomb always carries like a couple of carvings, small ones, and he's got this like carved whistle with like a frog on it. He says like, this will represent your involvement in this wonderful activity.
He reaches out and takes it.
There you go.
Was this like commemorating something? Is there supposed to be something that happens now? Is this one of your spells? And he just takes it and blows on it as hard as he can. And it just releases this horrible screeching sound.
It's
Did it do anything? Do I look different?
And Bomber gets this little twinkle in his eye, and he goes, it controls frogs.
Roll a deception check. Unless it actually controls frogs. Roll a deception check.
Yeah. Like, Bomb automatically fails, he's terrible at lying. Doesn't matter if I roll a crit, then he automatically fails.
You're choosing to automatically fail, because I could have you do, like, disadvantage if you wish.
No,
okay,
I think he would. I think he's just terrible at lying.
I know what frogs sound like. You're crazy. But he puts the flute in his pocket anyway and walks back into the house, just kind of rubbing his back like, oh no. He hobbles back into the house. At this point, Marlowe, Eorad, you have been able to watch all of that as it came to pass. And within moments, Kralda does emerge from the house. Hey! Who threw my boy?
And this points at Bomb.
What are you thinking, Timber Smith? He has a lot of work that has to be done later. You can't... What did you do to him?
A warm-up exercise, come on.
A warm-up exercise?
I heard it's a dwarven tradition.
Are you making fun of us? What's gotten into you today? You're different.
What should I say, Mother? I'm making friends.
Kralda is just baffled. All right, well, if you don't mind, perhaps make friends somewhere else for a while. I see you've brought my new apprentice. Let's get to work. Come on, you're late. And
Can I come?
You
Can I
head
come
to the
with?
workshop. Yes. Just no more
Okay. Okay.
warm-up exercises.
I was not involved in any of that. I promise you, I just kind of yeeted myself.
I have
think
no
that's what
idea
Bum
what that
called it.
means.
I don't know either.
Is this a Fairbolg thing?
I think so.
Those Timber Smiths. And she
I
just
think
kind
we're
of
being
puts an
sensitive.
arm around both of you and leads you into the workshop. So, before we get into that, Bum and Kendis, what do you intend to do?
We've got to find what's wrong with me? The good song.
You do have to find the good songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would still rather investigate the spring, but if that's going to be done at all, I believe it needs to be done under cover of night. So.
Yeah, and you've seen my infiltration skills.
Yes.
They might need
Have a
some
lot to
work.
be desired.
They do leave much to be desired, you are right. Okay, to the good songs we go.
So as you make your way to the good songs, and I know the session is going a bit long, so these interactions may end up being the way we close out tonight's session. So you make your way to the good songs. They are more to the east, or I'm sorry, no, the south of the trading post, closer to the Singing Grove, which is that grove of willows that you had learned about before, that Luz had mentioned were seeming a bit sad, seeming drained in some way. So as you take your leave, Marlowe, Eorad, you are quickly put to work. So Kralda, pulling out some of the tools, saying, I've seen the tools that you were using before, my dear. Looking towards you, Marlowe. We're going to try you on something a little bit different today. And she gives you a heavier set kind of chisel. One to you as well, Eorad. You've never held something like this before. It's kind of heavy. The first thing you're going to do is make some squares. So she is going to have you go through basically foundation building of stone carving. And you are going to be taking these rougher pieces of stone and just start by making some basic shapes. So she's working you through the technique there.
I think I can do this.
Gotta start with the basics when you're learning something new. So as you are working on that, and it's gonna take all morning to really get it right. It's like when you first start learning how to metalwork. You're making things like nails, right? You're making basic stone shapes, chiseling down, learning how to smooth out the edges and make different angles and curves. Okay, Bum, Kendis, you are heading south after that escapade. Is there anything that you discuss on your way? Now that Marlowe and Eorad are otherwise occupied for now, as you make your way to the good songs.
Eorad pointed out that the lady had mentioned that the apparition or the visitor may have been female. He sort of caught her out, really. That worries me because she tried to avoid any further questioning of this. Just to compound her lies, I feel that was actually quite important detail. Maybe she does know, or maybe she's even seen this dark force.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Timber Smith. The question is, why would she lie? What does she have to gain? And who is the figure, and how does she know how to identify them?
I'm hopeful that the good song may be able to shed some light if they visit the grove where the visitor was last seen. Their music can really communicate with nature at a different level, a different harmony, shall we say. than mine and yours. But I'm still not ruling out the idea that you will be able to shed some light on it too once you're there.
Absolutely, I'll lend whatever magical potency I can to the Good Songs craft. I do hope they haven't been approached by the Vervains already and told to keep information from us. Cynical as I am, I'm aware that if one set of Glenferrans are hiding things from us, let's not rule out the possibility that others are doing the same. For what reasons, I cannot say, but it's worth considering. But the Good Songs are a good sort. I would like to put my faith in them.
But it will just further shed light on the deception, the Vervains. If you feel or sense this, it's very much your area in terms of, how did they put it? Subterfuge.
Truly.
But you know the word calisthenics.
Yep.
Your selective vocabulary is baffling.
Oh yeah, it's because of my family. They're always saying different things to me.
You didn't have access to a whole lot of books, you know,
No.
in general, so your generalized vocabulary is a little bit lacking, but you know very specific things about wood carving and calisthenics. And strangely, fish breeding cycles.
It's amazing what you pick up from spirits.
Yes, yes.
There's a game from Jakul called Scrabble. I'd be interested to play with you sometime, but...
Scrabble's now canon in Iyastera. It's a Yokulian game. Yes! Yes!
Rebel.
on the
Sounds-
subject of vocabulary.
Sounds interesting.
Indeed. I'll help you do that for another time when there are less pressing matters to attend to.
Yes.
So, as you near the Good Song home, you begin to hear on the wind the faint sound of wind chimes. This melodic sort of, I guess for lack of a better word, chiming. These melodic notes floating towards you on the breeze. And as you approach, you see what isn't just a single home, but 3 different cabins, one on the ground and 2 others built into the trees around. These are where the rather large Good Song family resides. So I know specifically you're looking for Oscar. However, Luz is swinging from one of the suspended ropes. It is a kind of a rope swing along one of the tree branches up top from the middle cabin, kind of trying to throw rocks at one of the wind chimes to make them sing even louder. Below her, you see one of her older brothers, Fidel. He was actually at the trading post yesterday playing some music for some of the other people, some of the other children as well in the trading post. And he's shouting up, Luz, no, come down. You're going to break something. And she's just squealing and laughing and not really paying much attention at all. And as the 2 of you approach, Fidel does turn. Yeah, hi, welcome, Timbersmith, Brackenhill. Luz, will you come down? Look, we have guests. And he's trying to use your presence as an excuse for her to come down. And she sees the both of you, and then she sees you, Kendis. Hedge Witch, Brackenhill, Kendis, did you see? I hit them. And she's just kind of squealing at you.
Kendis kind of gives... Kendis kind of smirks, and like they do have a really soft spot for this like really adorable little kid. And this goes, I saw, indeed I did. Yes, your mother requested your presence down here. And then kind of looks over at her to say, like, did I help?
Fidel? Oh, the older brother.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
older brother. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. He looks towards you and says, "Thank you." Just kind of mouths the words. And Luz just screams. She can't hear very well from up there. She just screams, "Okay, I'm coming down!" And she just swings down on the rope, kind of loses her grip at the bottom and just kind of tumbles a little bit. Ah! Ow! 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 Oh, that hurt. That hurt. And then she gets up, brushes herself up, and runs up to you. And just kind of looks at you. She's only like 6. It's like, "Hi! Do you need something? Dad's busy. He said he'd be back soon."
Oh. How long did you say?
He didn't. And Fidel just kind of takes Luz by the hand. He went to check on the Singing Grove.
Ah, yes.
He said something happened during the night. He told us to
Really?
stay here. Yeah. Did you need him?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he say anything about the Singing Grove incident?
He woke up this morning, said something was wrong, and he left. He didn't say anything. He just told us to stay here. Luz, go inside. Go find Alda. But Fi, I want to come too. We have guests. It's like, no. Go inside. I'll be back. I promise. Fine. Can I climb the trees again? Just only if Alda stays with you. Okay. So Luz goes in. Alda, is one of the other sisters. So Fidel motions to the both of you, leaves. You go farther south, past the homes, the cabins. And as you're walking, you feel that same sense that you felt before. When you were first, yesterday going into the trading post. Both of you felt more of that chill in the air. And once again, Bomb, that sort of presence that you felt in the early hours of morning, some of that starts to creep into you, into your heart again here.
Hedge Witch, you feel that? You must
Yes,
feel that on your
you do.
feathers.
Oh.
Kendis,
And I kind of shudders. I
Kendis,
do.
you feel it as well.
I very much do.
Fidel, even, it's almost as if he misses a step just walking through. Kind of shakes his head a bit, looks back at the two of you, sees that same sort of recognition in your eyes, and starts running. Both of you can follow. The three of you are now running faster towards the Singing Grove. And as you go, you see some of the color of the grasses and the flowers have faded. It seems almost muted. And as you enter the usually warm and bright circle of willows, these ancient willows that have been here for so many years, that serve as a gathering place, and the good songs will put on performances here, and it's a place typically of joy and of life. But as you enter this ring of willows, you see that the leaves have shriveled. There's frost and ice on the bark of the trees themselves. The air is so frigidly cold within this ring of trees. It's as if you'd stepped into a different world, even just temporarily, from the rest of the forest. And crouched in the center, kneeling on the ground, you see the hunched over form of Oscar. As you get closer, just barely seeing the breath issuing from his form, creating those small clouds of steam in the air in front of him, and all of you can see the breath materializing within the air before you as you go within this circle. Fidel yells out, "Dad? Dad!" And he runs forward, rushes towards him.
I stop him. I put my arm out and grab him. I say, wait. Wait.
No, something's wrong. He's hurt. And he tries to shrug.
But wait. And I turn to, do I manage to stop him?
How hard do you try?
Really, really hard. Yeah. Like almost like put my arm around his waist and sort of like pull him back.
That's his
You can just put a hand out to him.
That's his. Oh, if both of you are.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll an assisted strength check for me then? Mm-hmm. So the way we do assisted rolls in this, Bomb, you're going to roll, add all the things you would typically roll to strength. Mm-hmm. However, Kendis, you can contribute your strength modifier.
Oh, okay.
Or in your case, depending on how you want to assist, I would say you can add your dexterity modifier instead. So instead, typically, for those of you in the audience who don't know, if you're doing an assisted roll in 5th edition D&D, you give advantage to whoever is actually making the primary roll. So they would roll the d20 twice and take the higher of the two. I don't really like that because I think it doesn't always give a tangible advantage. So for this game, you the person offering the aid contributes the modifier. So if it's +2, +3, whatever it is, you add that on top of the other modifiers for that primary roll.
Nice.
Homebrew.
Right.
Woo.
Yep. What's your modifier, Dex, then?
Me, 2.
2, okay.
There it is.
12, 34, 16.
Yeah, cool. And then I'll chip in as well.
Yeah. So, 18 altogether.
18. So you're able to hold him back, but not before he yells out his father's name again.
Mm-hmm.
And in response, you see Oscar's form sit up and turn towards you and look at you both with skin blue, darkened, almost frostbitten, and empty, dark eyes. And that is where we will end.
No! Stop it! No!
You
It's almost 2 in
can't
the morning.
do that.
Oh, yes,
No
I can!
way.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can,
this
and I
is
do.
combat.
Yeah.
There's the two people who are like combat heavy are not around.
Elsewhere, yeah.
We're making squares.
I'm gonna make a D6.
You're making it. Hey, clever. I see what you did there. But we are going to end there. Hey.
Good.
Hey, you don't
Great
know what
fun.
happened. You don't know
Great
what happened.
fun.
But hey, you do have Fidel there with you. You don't know what he can do yet, but
No.
Yeah.
You got Fidel and a child.
Luz stayed behind. You don't know if she stayed there, but
Yeah.
you know, went back
We
to
don't
the
know. We don't know
house.
this is combat. It just very heavily alludes to combat, but we don't know.
You
it's
don't.
gonna be
You don't
combat.
necessarily know. It could just be, you know, something horrible that you need to help with.
Yeah.
Not everything leads to combat necessarily.
Well, not everything
but-
doesn't lead to combat as well.
Semantics. All right, so that is where we are going to end. I hope you, the players, enjoyed that.
Yes,
Very
thank you,
good
Marvel.
role playing and exploration in this episode, and I hope all of you out in the Twitterverse, not Twitterverse, Twitchverse, enjoyed that with all of your ridiculous yeeting and cinnamon.
Don't know where that
Where
came
did the
from.
cinnamon thing even come from?
It
I
was
don't know.
Eaterverse. Oh gosh. Yeah, Brosidon, this is all your fault.
100%.
Oh
the
my
year
gosh.
and everything was Brosidon's fault.
Just plain Brosidon.
It was though. They brought up the yeeting as well.
Can't believe this is canon now.
Well,
Me
you know,
neither, honestly.
Apparently, Bomb's got to open his own storefront now with cinnamon-related acorn products.
Cinnamon acorn products. That's fantastic. You know, I mean, doesn't matter what's in the chat. The fact that you guys took it and ran with it. I'm like, okay, this is the yes and portion of
The
D&D.
yeet
And the yeet. Oh God, no, the yeet and. Do we need a yeet emote as well? Oh,
How many emotes do you have available?
Only one
How
more.
many
And we're
emotes?
saving that for Fire Goat.
Oh God.
I'll leave it up to you guys. This
Hold my
fourth
beer.
emote, I want this to be something that is decided upon by the party. So I liked the Fire Goat one, but if we want to have like another one that's connected to this campaign, let me know, and specifically let Jenn know.
Yes.
You're doing the emotes. So we'll do that. Okay, we're gonna call it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to join us for this second episode. I'm gonna still call this Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Part 2 of Heroes of Iyastera. What happens next? I don't know. You'll have to tune in 2 weeks to find out. However, this recorded video is going to be on the YouTube channel next week. Once again, every week we're not having a live game. You can find the recording there. You can look forward to, we're going to go into the updates and announcements segment of this now. You can look forward to more fun creation, Heroes of Iyastera and Inspiral's creation next week here on Scriv the Bard, the Scriv the Bard channel. So Tuesday, Chill Creation, we're going to do some more magic item design. Not quite sure whose magic item we're going to tackle next. Last time we were able to create the Alchemore, one of Marlowe's unique items that she has. Hasn't made an appearance yet. Perhaps it will soon. But we have a whole collection. Each one of your heroes here around the virtual table have something special that is unique to them. So we're going to dive into that magic item creation and start looking at the mechanics of those. But then on Thursday, this is a good segue to Hatchling to Rich. What are we doing on Thursday, Rich? Over to you.
Oh, we don't know.
Who knows? It's something here on Scriv the Bard.
Yeah, it's gonna be something related to game design, I imagine.
Yeah, we're gonna have
something close to our hearts, and we might even have a guest. We can probably reach out over the weekend and see if they're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll have a little round table about game design, TTRPG
Calling
design.
it the round table is actually pretty cool thematically. So this is going to be the very first game design sort of creation round table talk between, the fusion of Inspirals and Iyastera, bringing together those two worlds. So yeah, we're going to start doing that this month. So next Thursday, catch Hatchling and I here for some of that conversation. So go ahead and go around. Anyone else have updates, exciting things coming up next
Friday?
Yeah.
Next Friday, I will be a guest as Marlowe on the Three Flings.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
As Marlowe, yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
Three Flings. When? What
Three
time is
Flings.
that next Friday?
I believe that is 7 CST.
Okay, so 7 p.m. CST to GMT. That's going to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
That's like 1 a.m. here. But it's next Friday.
nothing.
I will be up for it.
No.
1 a.m. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
Drak.
I'm usually awake. I'm sometimes awake at this time during the week anyway. Even having
I'm
to work
always
the next
awake
day.
at this time.
It's not good. It's not good.
I am constantly awake at this time.
Yeah, you are a warforged. You don't sleep. All right, what else have we got? That's awesome.
I'm just gonna rattle off everything I have going on next week.
Do it. Let's do the laundry list.
Yeah. So first, tomorrow, technically today, but tomorrow.
Oh no.
Tomorrow
no.
I'm on Chromatic Chimera playing the premiere of the Burn Bright game, which is a lot of fun. I'm playing an Olran, which is actually 100,000 telepathic bugs that are in like one form, It's really fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's super
It's
cool.
it's a science fantasy game. So we're gonna be like, I'm the captain of our ship, and we're rescuers. We go to different planets to rescue people from an encroaching thing called the Burn, which is like a unknown, mysterious thing that is encroaching on all of the boundaries of the galaxy, really eating everything up. And we're the people who kind of like go to planet to rescue people before they get eaten up by the Burn. That's very exciting. Monday I have nothing. Tuesday I'm in a Sourceful campaign over on Little Red Dot's channel from 8 p.m. ET to 11 p.m. ET. And Saturday's game was from 6 p.m. ET to 9 p.m. ET. The Sourceful game is really fun. I think I talked about it, I think, at the beginning of the stream, or was it before we went live? I can't remember. But I'm playing. It's basically, the idea is it's based in a Afro punk setting, and it's basically it's like a musical talent contest where there's a chance of you dying if someone's that much better at you at the talent.
That's really fun.
On Wednesday, I'm in an iHunt campaign called Hustle and Claw, where I play a millennial monster hunter. That's literally what iHunt is. You play, it's like Uber meets monster hunting, I think, kind of meshed together. It's great. I recently, last episode, I cut a zombie's head off completely with a dull samurai sword that I stole from a rich frat boy. So that was a thing. On Wednesday as well, I think afterwards. So on same Wednesday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I think, 1 a.m. Eastern, I'm gonna be on Zero Doxy's channel playing a D&D one shot where I play a monk Aarakocra. I'm using a UA class. It's the I think like the Ascendant Dragon. It's a really new UA class that came out recently.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it looks so cool. I was like, yes, I need to play this character. I need to play him.
Cool.
If it came up before, I would have actually probably played an Ascendant Dragon Warforged instead of an actual self. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yes.
Are you sure?
You sure?
I don't know. I'm planning a superhero TTRPG one shot. I don't know when that's going to be. It might be next week or next couple of weeks' time. So keep an eye out for that. But basically, follow me on Twitter.
Yes.
At Draconics, DRAKONIQUES, and I'm definitely going to tweet about whatever I'm up to there.
Yeah, so I'm dropping the heroes command in the chat. Once again, has all of the different handles for the players around the table.
Yeah, I have TTRPG addiction and the inability to say no.
Do you now?
But never
I don't know if you noticed.
I'm on Twitter. I'm at HatchlingDM. As I said, I'm going to collaborate with Scriv on the channel going forward a fair bit, and we're going to talk game design while I'm designing Inspirals.
Creation.
And before long, I'll get the test packs out to people, and they can have a bit of sign language and a bit of all ages gaming. Anything from you, Sash? Any sort of...
Other than working on your map illustrations.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm actually not doing too much at the moment. If anyone wants me to play RPGs with them, message me because I would be really interested in doing more. So if you need a person, hit me up. Pretty low-key one for me. I'm working basically all of next week. So
did you have anything going on with Tea Light Press?
I
saw you retweeting something.
We have submissions open for our monthly theme for my lit mag. So if you do prose, flash fiction, art, or poetry, please consider sending them in. Follow Tea Light Press on Twitter. That's a fun little project. We have a lot of really cool submissions already over the past couple of months. It's growing at a pretty nice rate. So if you're part of the literary community or just want to read some cool fiction and poetry, check it out. That's my main thing at the minute. Not very interesting.
Nice.
Interesting.
Well, but that's it. And I'm sure I'll be doing something else eventually once my workload decreases. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Excellent. I've already mentioned some of the updates and things I have in store for you fine folks. Keep an eye out on Twitter. You can follow me there. Follow me on Instagram. Hop in on the Discord. The Heroes of Iyastera Discord link, as well as the social media links, are all below. You can also check out my website, scrivthebard.com, where all of this started over 2 years ago now. Started all the articles and stories and Heroes of Iyastera content. But aside from that, you can find me here, part-time streamer, a little bit more than part-time, coming up soon. But definitely enjoying the adventure. Yes, hit like and subscribe or subscribble. Yes, oh my gosh, the more subscribers we have, the more of these crazy emotes we can bring to life. Yeah, so I think that's all I've got. So we're going to close out with our wonderful video again, but as always, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the channel this evening or early this morning. I hope you've enjoyed the story as much as we have. So keep adventuring, keep scribbling, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone.